Hey, I came as soon as I heard, so you're having trouble getting to sleep. Are you feeling okay? Well, okay, I can definitely help with that. Hey, they put out a smaller article recently, but would you care to have me read to you these 25 Return of the Jedi facts as Star Wars? You know it. Yeah, I mean, we can definitely start there and, see where it goes. And if you remember, this is actually the one that has the one false fact involved. But hey, don't worry about that. I'll tell you at the end which one it was. No worry. They did do like half of the facts this time, though. It's like, I think it's the 30. Yeah, it's about 30. So, are you all tucked in? Yeah? Okay. You have everything you need. You've got water. You don't want to wake up thirsty and not have it. You've checked all your doors, made sure they're locked and everything. Brushed your teeth, done your evening routine and all that stuff. Okay. Then, let's get into this. I hope it makes you or helps you feel better. Or at least takes your mind off the struggle that being sick can cause. Okay? Are you ready? Are you sure? Alright. I've got them right here, as always. So fact number 1. The speeder bike chase used rapid editing combined with motion blur to enhance the sense of speed. Quick cuts between angles creates a disorienting, fast-paced rhythm. Motion blur in the background reinforces movement. The combination makes the sequence feel intense and unpredictable. It remains one of the film's most dynamic scenes. Fact 2. The Jabba's Palace Band featured multiple puppet characters, operated simultaneously during musical sequences. Each band member required separate puppeteers controlling movement and timing. The performance had to be coordinated like a live musical act. Movements were synchronized to pre-recorded audio. The scene feels chaotic but controlled. Fact 3. The Death Star interior corridors were built with repeating modular sections for efficient set construction. Sections were reused and rearranged to create multiple locations. Consistent design elements ensured continuity. Lighting variations helped differentiate areas. This approach maximized resources. Fact 4. The Emperor's lightning effect was added in post-production using hand-drawn animation techniques. Frame-by-frame animation was used to create the lightning effect, the lightning arcs. The effect was layered over live-action footage. Variation in brightness and movement added energy. It gives the attack a chaotic, unpredictable quality. Fact 5. The Sarlacc creature's interior was suggested through sound and partial visuals rather than full depiction. The film avoids showing the interior of the Sarlacc in detail. Instead, brief glimpses and sound effects imply depth and danger. This restraint enhances mystery. The unseen becomes more threatening. Fact 6. The Ewoks' eyes were designed with reflective surfaces to catch light and appear more expressive. The eyes reflect ambient light, creating small highlights. These reflections mimic real animal eyes. They help convey attention and emotion. The detail adds realism to the characters. Fact 7. The final battle sequence intercuts 3 separate storylines requiring precise editing to maintain clarity. The film alternates between the space battle, the ground assault, and the throne room duel. Each storyline progresses simultaneously. Editing ensures that transitions feel natural rather than abrupt. The structure builds tension across all formats. Fact 8. Jabba's skin surface was coated with layers of slime and glycerin to maintain a wet, reflective texture under lighting. The puppet's outer surface was regularly treated with substances to keep it glossy and moist looking. Under warm lighting, this created highlights that shifted as Jabba moved. The texture made the skin appear heavy and organic rather than rubbery. It added to the creature's unsettling realism. Fact 9. The Endor forest chase required stunt performers to navigate real terrain at speed, increasing physical risk during filming. Performers ran and rode rigs through uneven forest ground filled with roots, slopes, and obstacles. Timing had to be precise to avoid collision. Some shots required repeated passes through tight spaces. The physical danger contributed to the sequence's intensity. Fact 10. The Rancor's skin texture was sculpted with layered wrinkles to catch shadows and suggest mass. The creature's surface included deep folds and irregular patterns that interacted with lighting. Shadows settled into these creases, emphasizing depth as the puppet moved. Highlights shifted across the surface. This gave the impression of thick, heavy skin. Fact 11. Mark Hamill performed much of the throne room duel with increased physical intensity to reflect Luke's emotional state. Hamill's movements became faster and more aggressive as the scene progresses. His posture tightens, and strikes become less controlled. The physicality mirrors Luke's internal conflict. The performance shifts from restraint to near loss of control. Fact 12. The Death Star reactor core was depicted using layered lighting effects to suggest depth and energy. The bright central light sources were surrounded by darker structural elements. The contrast created a sense of depth within the shaft. Flickering highlights suggested unstable energy. The design makes the core feel both vast and dangerous. Fact 13. The Ewok traps were built as practical mechanisms that could be triggered during filming. Log traps and swinging devices were constructed to function physically on set. Actors and stunt performers interacted with real, moving objects. Timing had to be carefully coordinated. The physicality added authenticity to the action. Fact 14. The Emperor's makeup design used layered prosthetics to create a wrinkled, aged appearance. Prosthetic pieces were applied in layers to build up texture around the face. Shadows naturally formed within the wrinkles under lighting. The design enhanced facial expressions rather than restricting them. It contributed to the character's unsettling presence. Fact 15. The speeder bike miniatures were filmed with controlled lighting to maintain consistency with live-action forest footage. Lighting on the models was matched to the direction and intensity of sunlight in the background plates. This ensured that shadows aligned correctly. Even small inconsistencies would break the illusion. The attention to detail helped integrate elements seamlessly. Alright, that was the first roughly half of these. What do you think? Do you think the fact has passed? Does it not matter? In any world, I'll let you know. So, okay. It could be. It very well could be. But I don't want to make you move around too much. So just keep that in mind. Can you do that for me? Okay. Fact number 16. Jabba's palace door mechanism was primarily static, with the heavy opening effect added later through sound design and video editing. The physical doorway itself remained mostly fixed during filming, while the illusion of the control was created through tight camera angles and off-screen cues. Metallic grinding sounds and reaction timing from actors sold the impression of a massive door sliding open. Cuts between shots helped conceal the lack of full mechanical motion. This technique preserved the sense of a fortified environment without requiring a complex, moving set piece. Fact 17. The Endor bunker explosion combined miniature effects with live-action elements for scale. Miniature structures were destroyed using controlled explosions filmed at high speed. These shots were combined with live-action footage of actors. The integration required precise timing and compositing. The result feels large-scale and impactful. Fact 18. The Ewok costumes included variations in color and texture to differentiate individual characters. Different shades of fur and small design changes were used to create variety. These variations help distinguish characters visually. Despite similarities, each Ewok feels unique. The detail adds depth to the group. Fact 19. The throne room windows used backlighting to create strong silhouettes during key moments. Bright light from behind the windows outlines characters in shadow. This technique emphasizes shape and movement. It creates dramatic contrast during the duel. The effect adds visual intensity. Fact 20. The Red Corps' movement was filmed at high frame rates. This is called over-cranking to increase its perceived weight. Filming at higher frame rates caused the puppet to appear heavier and more deliberate when played back in slow motion. This technique tricks the eye into seeing massive scale and weight where there is only a small model. Fact 21. The Sarlacc tentacles were operated manually with rods and cables to create unpredictable motion. Operators controlled the tentacles from below or behind the set. Movements were intentionally uneven to avoid mechanical repetition. The unpredictability made the creature feel alive. Each motion appears reactive rather than programmed. Fact 22. The Death Star hangar set used reflective flooring to enhance lighting and depth. The floor reflected overhead lights and moving objects. This added a secondary layer of visual detail. Reflections help define space and movement. The environment feels larger and more polished. Fact 23. The speeder bike chase required precise timing between live action plates and miniature elements. Each element had to align perfectly in motion and perspective. Even slight mismatches would break the illusion. The coordination required detailed planning. The final result feels seamless. The Ewok, Fact 24. The Ewok battle scenes used practical debris and movement to create a sense of chaos. Logs, rocks, and props were physically moved and thrown during scenes. Actors reacted to real objects in motion. This added unpredictability to performances. The battle feels energetic and uncontrolled. Fact 25. The Emperor's throne room used minimal set decoration to focus on character interaction. The space is largely empty, with only essential elements present. This directs focus toward the characters and their dialogue. The lack of clutter enhances tension. Every movement becomes more noticeable. Fact 26. The Millennium Falcon cockpit scenes reused the existing set, but adjusted lighting to reflect new environments. Lighting was used to match surrounding environments like space or indoor. This included color shifts and intensity shifts. The adjustments maintain continuity while adding variation. The cockpit feels integrated into each scene. Fact 27. The final space battle editing increased shot density compared to earlier films to heighten intensity. Shots are shorter and more frequent, creating a faster rhythm. Multiple perspectives are shown in quick succession. This builds tension and complexity. The sequence feels more chaotic and immersive. 28. The speeder bike chase used carefully cleared paths in the forest to allow safe camera movement during plate filming. Before filming, crew members removed obstacles like branches and rocks from selected paths. This allowed the camera rig to move slowly without interruption. The cleared routes were narrow, preserving the illusion of dense forest. The preparation ensured safety while maintaining realism. Fact 29. The Rancor's mouth included layered textures and flexible materials to simulate muscle movement. The interior of the mouth was designed with soft materials that shifted slightly as it opened and closed. This created the immersion of muscle beneath the skin. Teeth were individually detailed and irregular. The combination the creature feels organic rather than mechanical. The combination made the creature feel organic rather than mechanical. And fact 30, Ian McDiarmid adjusted his physical posture to remain almost completely stiff, emphasizing control during the throne room scenes. McDiarmid minimized physical movement, often sitting motionless while speaking. This stillness contrasts with the movement of the other characters. Small gestures like a slight hand raise became more significant. The performance creates a sense of quiet authority. And oh snap, they've got 3 bonus facts here. So I'll just read them. You seem relaxed. Bonus fact 1. The Death Star exterior model included illuminated sections to suggest active construction zones. Certain areas of the model were fitted with lights to indicate ongoing work. These illuminated sections contrasted with darker, unfinished areas. The variation added visual complexity. It reinforced the idea of station still under construction. Bonus fact 2. The Ewok gliders were built as practical props with lightweight frames for actor interaction. The gliders used simple structural frames covered with fabric-like materials. They were designed to appear functional while remaining easy to handle. Actors could hold and move them naturally. The props added believability to the Ewoks' tactics. Oh my gosh. So there's 2 more facts. Fact 33. Technically, bonus fact 3. The Jabba's palace lighting used warm tones and low angles to create heavy shadows and depth. Lights were positioned low and angled upward, casting shadows across faces and walls. Warm color tones enhanced the sense of heat and confinement. The lighting created a dense, layered atmosphere. It makes the space feel oppressive. And finally, bonus fact 4. The Endor battle included practical dust and debris kicked up during action to enhance realism. Actors and vehicles disturbed real dirt and forest materials during scenes. This created natural clouds of dust and debris. The movement added texture to the environment. It made the action feel grounded and physical. And I'll just, you don't have to say it, but if you want to think it or whisper it, what fact was false? If you guessed fact 16, you were right. Here is the real version of fact 16. The claim is Jabba's palace door mechanism was built with practical movement to create a heavy mechanical opening element effect. The door moved slowly and with visible resistance, suggesting weight. Actors interacted with it. As it opened and closed, the movement was timed to match dialogue and action. It reinforced the sense of a fortified environment. And that is it for the original trilogy, it seems. That was really eye-opening. I really enjoyed this. And I'm so glad that you're more relaxed. With a blink of the eyes or a thumbs up, can you tell me, are you more relaxed? Alright, I will let you rest because I know it's what you need. And I'll see you next time, okay? Alright. Rest well.